This is Laura Rice, and you're watching and listening to Full Body Frequency. Welcome back. Get ready. We are beaming up and leaving Earth behind. My guest today is Nikki Aliah, aka Aliah Sheffield, or as one of her YouTube followers crowned her, the Queen of Relatable Music. Aliah, thank you for beaming up with us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Now, before we talk about your breakout song, Earth is Ghetto, let's play a quick word association game. I'll give you a word or a phrase, and you tell us immediately what pops into your minds. First phrase, the blues.
I guess I'd say Bill Withers.
Okay. The ocean.
Mexico.
Okay. Mexico.
As a whole, because the ocean there is beautiful.
Berklee College of Music.
Ooh, bills.
Okay. Lawyer.
More bills.
Okay. Plus size.
Normal.
Okay. All right. So many people have suggested, as you know, that your recent social media breakthroughs on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube with Earth is Ghetto, that you achieved overnight success, but as evidenced by the lyrics of your songs, Some Souls, The Gates, and Soulmates, you clearly have seen and experienced some things in your 32 years on this earth. How long have you been a singer, songwriter, and musician?
I like to keep saying over 10 years, extended version of over 10 years for a very, very long time.
Okay. So now I mentioned previously the Berklee College of Music, prestigious conservatory in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes.
And although your time there was short, how much of what you experienced at Berklee influences you today?
What I experienced at Berklee influenced me because I started writing more when I definitely showing people the songs that I was writing a little more when I was at Berklee and entering songwriting contests and stuff like that. And it encouraged me that even when I left, that's what made me start performing my own original songs in places, because I wasn't performing my own music in places until after I left Berklee.
Okay. That's a big influence. That's big. That's big. So if you could return to Berklee, how would you return? Would you return as a student? Would you return as a lecturer to share all of your body of wisdom? Or would you return to perform?
If I could afford it, I'd probably take some classes and get some more knowledge on producing stuff. I mean, I've learned a lot of stuff on my own since I've been out here, but they do have valuable classes on learning how to arrange music for production and stuff like that. And I would love to perform there.
Okay. And I would almost say that you would be a wonderful lecturer to talk about really of capitalizing on the time that we're in now.
Yeah.
And making sure that you hit those social media outlets and try to create an audience, create a space for yourself. So yeah.
That would be an interesting experience. I'm not great with doing lectures or when I have to speak in public. So
you'll get there. Believe you me, you will.
I'm working on it, but it's not quite there yet. I say everything I need to say in the music.
There you go. Given COVID-19, the pandemic, one pandemic, along with the pandemics of racism, police violence and brutality, economic upheaval, 2020 appears to have been a year chock full of inspiration for you and your music. You even moved from the US to Mexico. Walk us through your 2020 and the process of birthing Earth is Ghetto, how you want us to consume the word ghetto. It's it's multiple meanings and its uses.
2020 was definitely an interesting year for me. That was the first time that I hadn't been performing 4 or 5 nights a week in over 3 years. So I needed to have some type of musical outlet, some way to keep me going with music. So I decided I was writing the whole time, but I decided to finally start uploading stuff online on a regular basis. I was doing it randomly and here and there every now and then, but then I tried to do it as much as possible. And I just started writing songs about experiences that I was having in that year, or even just conversations that people were having with me turned into songs and stuff like that. So Earth is Ghetto, actually, I keep telling people, that song happened. I was at the corner store on 15th down the street from my house in Mexico. I even posted a picture of the store after I left. on Instagram. But I was sitting at the store and I'm like, the store is gated up. I can't go in the store and actually go and find what I want. So I have to play like a game of charades because I'm horrible and I don't know much Spanish, but they only speak Spanish. And I'm just saying, this is just ghetto. So a crazy situation. You just standing at the gate of the store because the window and everything is barred up to keep people from going in and stuff like that.
It's typical in the U.S. too.
Yes.
After a certain time, you got to talk to the plexiglass.
Well,
you know?
I mean, they had the store barred up all the time because they didn't want to let people in because of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was. I don't think it was normally like that, but they have it. Like they have it completely. You just see the person poke their head out the window and they say, they will basically ask you what you want in Spanish. And then you have to figure it out, look on your phone and find a picture of what you want and just like this. But I mean, I probably should have learned more Spanish, but I tried.
You tried. But what prompted you to move to Mexico?
I was just kind of panicky about going outside, and like I guess everybody was panicky about going outside. I was living in Georgia, and Georgia is crazy. I was living in my mother's house in Georgia, and as early as April 2020, people were already like, I don't want to wear a mask in Georgia. So I wasn't going outside at all. And I was like, all right, well, I can't stay here in Georgia. And not that going outside in Mexico is any safer, but it forced me to at least go to a beach or something, to go to an outside area and be there with my mask and just being in a different environment, and forced me to not cramp myself up completely.
Absolutely. And so let me just backtrack one time to talk about Earth is Ghetto again. And how do you want us to consume the word ghetto as you use it there? I mean, are you referring to, say, for example, the former occupant of the White House and his administration, the way people treat each other on Earth? I mean, there are a number of really important lyrics.
I mean, the former occupant of the White House, that's trailer trash. Ghettos are supposed to be like undesirable areas. Scores of people are just cramped and trapped in. And that's what I was thinking about, like the whole planet being an undesirable area for me. So
that's real.
That's what my meaning was. It's like, this whole planet is someplace that I don't want to live, and we all trapped here. I need to get out.
That's real. That's Afrofuturism.
Yeah.
Just a quick reminder, don't forget to like this episode of Full Body Frequency, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share. Earth is Ghetto, as you know, as I know, and many people know, because they listen to you all over the globe, but the song resonates globally. And you've willingly shared your spotlight with others who have covered and remixed the song. It's been performed in Spanish, in American Sign Language, and in many other iterations on TikTok. I mean, there's so many versions of it.
Yeah, I have to go look at the TikTok. I'm still figuring out TikTok.
Me too. What inspires you to share your space and your audience with other creatives? And what's your favorite cover of Earth is Ghetto? I'm
inspired to share my space with other musicians or other artists because if it's good, it's good. And I'm going to want to share it. And I would have did that before I had followers, and that's the type of stuff I do anyway. I like sharing cool videos or cool, cool music stuff, because even some of the songs that I shared on there weren't my song, or songs that had some type of idea about like Earth being ghetto or something like that. So it wasn't necessarily just me sharing stuff that was related to Earth is Ghetto, but like if I see something that's good, or if I see somebody put effort into something and I like it, I'm going to post it.
There was one guy who actually had what it appeared to be an alien sort of mask or face, or, a filter on, and he was hilarious. I mean,
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. I'm going to have to put that in the show notes and link him there as well. But with your generosity of sharing your platform with other creatives, what have you done to protect and monetize your Black creative production?
I had the song copywritten, and I have it registered with BMI. So that when people do post the videos and stuff like that, it does give me, especially on YouTube, it does give me, it's monetized towards me too. Like I get part of that. And I've also trademarked Earth is Ghetto, I Want to Leave, and just stuff like that. And I'm working on doing more. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening. I'm not necessarily worried about it right now.
Good. I'm glad to hear these things, and I'm sure other folks are too, because you got to make some money off of your stuff. That's for sure.
The first thing that happened was when stuff started going crazy. Like, well, who do I call? Because I was not prepared for this, and I called a lawyer, and that was the first thing I did. And it's somebody that I know. The lawyer is somebody that I know, and that helped out. So
speaking of creative production, and this will require a lawyer as well. But if you could collaborate with any of those whose music influences you, dead or alive, who would you work with and why?
Definitely Nina Simone, Lauryn Hill, live, Kendrick Lamar, Tupac. That would be crazy because he was interesting. But then Donny Hathaway and stuff like that. So those are my top picks of people that I would definitely work with.
Well, I can understand why you would. Those would probably be my choices too if I could sing, but I can't carry a note in a bucket. So there we go. But for you, music isn't just about sharing your gifts and talents with the world. And in a previous interview, you mentioned your bouts with depression. And in a recent O Magazine article, you stated, "My YouTube channel is a diary. Music saves my life. And it gives me an escape. And it gives me a way to take everything that's bothering me and put it out. Self-care via self-expression. This is powerful."
Yeah, that is self-care for me. I've had people say, well, can't you do anything more positive or something like that? I'm like, well, me putting this out and not keeping it trapped inside is a positive expression for me. So.
Yeah. Now, outside of the creative space, do you practice other forms of self-care?
Probably not. I need to work on that. The music is like writing music is just pretty much, or just writing in general is just definitely like my main way of practicing self-care. I definitely have to find other outlets, but moving to Mexico was self-care, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. So when I mentioned the word plus size during our word association game, you said normal. Yeah. And on your merchandise site, Earth is Ghetto, I Want to Leave.com. Everybody buy some merch, get some merch. Yeah. You dedicate an entire section of the website to merchandise specifically for plus size bodies.
Yeah. At first I didn't separate it, but people had trouble. Like I just had it in there, but people had trouble locating the sizes because of how the website is. So we did. I had the person that I work with on my website make sure to let people know which sizes were which. So
that's really cool. You give that kind of space to sizing. It's important. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a plus size woman. I have to be able to get stuff from my own store. So.
And a lot of times when we go and buy merchandise and clothing, we get some so-so colors, but the colors are popping in the plus size section. Well, they're popping all over your website, but I was especially excited to see lots of great colors in the plus size section.
That was hard for me to come up to actually get together because the truth is I mostly wear all black, but I had to think about other people that like colors and stuff. So I was happy about the different colors and stuff too.
Cool. Well, thank you. In addition to the section on your website, how much does being a plus size woman inform how you move through life and career?
Probably does. And I'm just so used to it now. I wasn't always plus size, but gradually over time, you grow wider instead of aging. So, I try not to let it affect things as much. I do get, people commenting on my weight and all of that. Like I had somebody in my soulmate video saying, "You won't find your soulmate until you lose weight." And I'm like, my soulmate won't care. That's why I'm waiting for somebody that don't care.
Right. Your soulmate might like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Soulmate probably will like it.
Exactly. They gonna love it. That's the purpose of waiting for the soulmate, picking it instead of picking some random person off the street.
This is true. So what's next for you? And then what song are you really excited about? Have we heard it yet, or is it forthcoming?
I'm excited about a lot of the music, but one song that I'm really liking, because I'm actually in the process of producing it, is a song that I have called Good for the Money. So I'm so excited for that one.
Very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about that one?
That song is basically about, you know, when you just have a whole bunch of stuff pop up and you got all these bills and you may not have the money right now, right at that moment, but you'll be good for it, and you're gonna find some way to come up with it.
Here we go. I know that feeling right now.
I know that feeling right now. This is one way or another. You're gonna make something out of no. You're gonna make a way out of no way, and that's like a lyric in the song. Is I can make a way out of no way.
Always have. So as we wait with bated breath for your album to drop, in addition to purchasing merch, how can we support you and your artistry?
Just, follow me, share my music. The more you share, the more I stay on people's radars and stuff like that, and don't kind of, disappear behind the scenes. And just, I have a Patreon. I'm still trying to figure out what to actually do for people, but people kept asking me to make one. So I made a Patreon. And I think the link is in my YouTube video for IS Ghetto. So if you go to that video, there's a link to the Patreon there.
Cool. And we'll have a link to your page on our show page as well in the show notes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Aliah, your music is a bomb that is making this moment in history bearable for many of us. I want to thank you for your music, and I want to thank you for spending this time with Full Body Frequency. But before we go, is there anything else you want to share with Full Body Frequency listeners and those watching right now?
I have an album coming out. It's not the one with IS Ghetto, but it's one I recorded with a band called Sold Out NYC. And we recorded it 4 years ago when Obama was still president, so it's a little brighter sounding. That album is coming out at the end of March. It was supposed to come out at the end of February, but technical difficulties held it back a little bit. So,
all right. So we can get that on your page as well?
Yes, it'll be announced on my page as well. Yeah.
Okay. Exciting stuff.
Thank you.
Can I say that they heard it first here?
Yes,
no?
You can definitely say they heard it first here.
You heard it first here on Full Body Frequency. Again, Aliah, thank you so much for joining us today. And we wish you nothing but love, success, happiness, money, and your soulmate.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Until next time, tune into your own Full Body Frequency, where large is luscious living.
I'm out on the street by the corner store, the one on 15th. Got a bright shirt on, so I'm easy to see. I've been down here stranded indefinitely. I can't reach my planet, but I need to leave. You should see these people. It's hard to believe how they treat each other. It's hard to conceive, oh, Earth